What's up, it's your boy, I Know Mercy, the Mad Hatter, and I'm here again, surprisingly quickly, because, okay, so here's the deal. I actually planned on reviewing or, covering as much of E3 as I could possibly see over the next few days. Thing is, I thought E3 started tomorrow, and it does, but, something I always tend to forget every year is that, for whatever reason, EA always holds a conference like a day early, or at least they have like the last few years, as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna be posting a review of the new Black Panther trailer, and if I ever figure out how annotations work, I'll probably put it right where this big M symbol is, and if I don't, then you can just, I don't know, go to my channel and look for okay, so while I was busy editing that, I found out that, EA's press conference is live, most of which I missed, but I was able to find another video pretty quickly covering the entire event, or most of the entire event. It didn't cover any of the post-conference stuff, which no one really cares about. But I did catch it, and I took notes and everything like that. So okay, let's do this. So not surprisingly, it started off with EA Sports, which is probably its most profitable, branch. Not surprisingly, starting with Madden 18. So, what is kind of interesting is that it has a full story mode with like cutscenes and shit, which is, I did not expect that. It sounds cool, and if I gave a shit about Madden, I'm sure I'd be really excited about it. So then they go on to talk about Battlefield. Like an update or an additional patch or something for Battlefield 1, which I don't play, so again, I'm not... Surprisingly, there are very few things in the conference I gave a shit about, so as far as these E3 coverage videos go, this is probably going to be the shortest, because this really wasn't anything I found particularly interesting, except for a few things, only a handful of things. And one thing I'm really excited about, but they showed so little of, I have nothing to talk about, and I'll get to that in a minute. So Battlefield apparently has nighttime maps, which is new for them and is relevant somehow. I'm not sure why, because is that new for this game to have night maps? Because okay, fine, whatever. But the actually interesting thing is that they have a new content update called In the Name of the Tsar, which takes place on the Russian front of the war, which World War I, right? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's World War I, but it takes place on the Russian front. It takes place on the Russian front of the war. You can play. You have a bunch of new maps and a couple of new units, which, if you're a history buff, I'm sure you would know about. I saw dudes riding on horses, which is just cool. And apparently, Russia had a women's, like a covert women's team or something like that, or those two things will be playable as well as a few other things. I admit I kind of didn't pay as close attention to this as I probably could have, because this actually does seem cool. If I did play Battlefield, I would think this is pretty cool. Or if I was a history buff, which I'm not really, but like if I was a World War I buff, I think this would be really interesting. This In the Name of the Tsar expansion, which is, it's cool. Then they talked about FIFA, which again don't really give a shit about. There's some stuff about the World Championship for both FIFA and Madden, which is important to some people, I'm sure, but well, FIFA and Madden will have really good music. I'll give them that. Like, I heard some of the soundtrack for both. It's really damn good. I mean, just top fucking notch. Like, if FIFA actually, like, if if FIFA or Madden or NBA Live gets any money out of me, it's because I bought the soundtrack. If they sell the soundtrack, which I hope they do. It's a really good soundtrack, from what I've heard. Then two British assholes talk for a bit about FIFA, and I didn't care. Then there's Need for Speed Payback. They got some YouTuber to introduce the game, and he looked like he had no idea what the fuck he was doing. A pro tip for any developers or companies or anything like that: yes, YouTube personalities like myself we're sort of the new celebrities, but not really, because we don't really have like any actual like experience talking to large groups or anything like that. Most of us are actually fairly introverted, don't have many social skills. I'm sure there's some of you out there who are actually very sociable and are very comfortable talking to large groups of people. Most of us aren't, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so Need for Speed Payback. There's some sort of revenge story. Okay. I'm sure if you've seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, it would be something similar to that. So there actually is some pretty cool things. Is that there's vehicle combat. You can, drive people off the road, which is kind of cool. You can chase down other vehicles, like the scene they showed. You had the character and the character sidekick, or you're in some sort of crew, I'm assuming, chasing down an 18-wheeler. The girl who's with you jumps out of the car, jumps into the 18-wheeler, drives the car that the 18-wheeler was carrying out, and she does her thing. And that was all cool, interesting, very cool. I can see people getting into that. And there's actually a new mechanic where you can actually find old junkers and fix them up and have them be part of your garage. It's like, that's really cool, because my family actually owns a garage like that, and we had a bunch of old cars in our junkyard, and it was just like, I can see my brother or even my dad, if he had played games, I could see either of them really getting into this game, just because of that one aspect. So I don't know how widespread this is, but apparently EA has this development arm called EA Originals, where they get lesser known, independent companies and give them enough money to make their own products, and that's cool. I think that's pretty good, especially with that kind of track record that EA has. It's for a while EA was kind of the big boogeyman of the gaming industry. They still don't have the best PR, but as far as companies who get like just the big fuck you, like Capcom and Konami especially Konami, have just fucking taken them in that regard, which is, I guess at this point EA is more the lesser of evils than an actually legitimately good company, but whatever. So they actually did show off a game from their EA Originals line. It's by the same guys. It's by the same cats that did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It's called A Way Out, and it looks legitimately interesting. This is a really cool game. I can get behind this game like just 100%. It's a co-op prison break game, which is just damn. and it apparently takes place in the 70s, which is, at least I think, I don't think anyone just came out and said, "Oh yeah, you're playing Convict in the 70s." It's just the music they use and the dress and you know, the way people are dressed it seems very 70s-ish. If that, you know, that's just, it has that kind of flavor to it. One thing it is kind of interesting, it doesn't have a single player component. It's only co-op. Like, you can't play this by yourself, which is, it's cool, and it works if you have friends, which I don't. So I'm gonna get much mileage out of this game. There is an online component, but the developer has openly stated that you get more out of it if you're both in the same room playing. You know, if it's couch co-op, which is, you know, I'm good with that, because I think I think more games need to have a mix of both, like both couch and online co-op, which is, yeah, great. It's split screen the whole way. And what's really cool is that, well, first of all, the two playable characters that you get actually have fucking personality, which is new. And the way they go about things is completely different. If you go one way with a player, you can kind of you can use charisma and, you know, kind of sweet talk and make deals and, you know, that kind of thing to get what you want. Or if you play as the other character, you can just punch everyone. You can just brute force your way through things, which is, it's great to have the kind of dichotomy between co-op characters, which is, it's fucking awesome. And what's really cool is if one of you is in a cutscene, the other can still, like, move around and interact with shit. Like, I have never seen that before. Like, usually if you're in if you're playing co-op with someone, if you're in a cutscene, your boy's in the same cutscene, or he just fucking disappears. No, if you're in a cutscene, your boy can still do shit. Like, you're talking to a guard, and you know, you got the, I don't know if it has like a dialogue wheel or something like that, but if it does, like, you're doing that, and your boy is stealing shit. And, like, you can do that. Like, you can distract the guard while your boy just ransacks things, or, like, knocks people out, or does whatever he needs to do. And that is awesome. That is interesting. I want to know more about this game. A Way Out. I'm keeping my eye on that one. Okay, so they're talking about some new tech that the gaming industry has been screwing with for a while, and, you know, that's always good. You know, it's moving things forward, which is, it's fine. You know, new technology, always a good thing. Apparently, the new BioWare game that they have in development right now is actually using this new technology. It's called Anthem. We only got like a 30-second teaser of it, so we really don't know anything that's going on, but from what I can gather, it takes place in a dystopian future city. There's power armor, and there's big-ass monsters. I'm good with that. As long as it's still an RPG. And it's, you know, it's better than Inquisition, because, you know, I loved Inquisition. Not gonna lie, I loved Inquisition. Some of the role-playing elements weren't great. Really hope they get rid of the dialogue wheel, because it's not working. Not working. No, BioWare. It's not working. Move on. Try something else. Okay, Anthem. Keep my eye on that one. Like I said, NBA Live, it's a thing. There's a demo coming out in August if you're interested. And pretty much the rest of the conference was just Star Wars Battlefront, which is, it's cool. It seems fun. I remember a lot of people saying they were kind of disappointed with Battlefield 1 last year, and I never played it because, I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One or even a Switch. But shit's coming out. Apparently it's going to have a story that actually bridges Return of the Jedi with Force Awakens, which is always good because Force Awakens is oddly divisive because some people just absolutely fucking hate it, which I don't understand, and people think it's the greatest fucking Star Wars movie ever, which is just not true. It's good. It's about on par with New Hope, which, let's be honest, was not that great. It's just from a practical movie standpoint, A New Hope was probably the weakest of the original trilogy. I'm just saying. That's me being honest. Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi were both way fucking better than A New Hope. I'm just saying. Okay, so alright, so they're obviously adding in new stuff, which you would hope for since it is a sequel. There's going to be new heroes, new maps, new vehicles, enhanced player customization, all sorts of new weapons and perks and abilities that you can use. There's going to be more heroes that you can play as, and that's always great. They showed an online match demo. During the entire thing, I didn't really have much else to say because, like I said, I never played the original Battlefront, so anything that I thought was kind of cool might have already been a feature, like you can commandeer shit, tanks and ships, and carpet bomb the enemy from the sky and shit like that, and have dog fights in the map while your people are on foot doing shit. And I thought that was cool, but I didn't know that was already a feature of the original Battlefront, so I didn't think I should I just mentioned it here because whatever. But throughout most of the online demo, I just wrote how much of this is bullshit. Because it looks cool. It looks cool. But I think we've all encountered times where a demo has looked cool in E3, you've actually gotten the game, and it was shit. Now, admittedly, it's more Ubisoft you expect this kind of shit from. I don't think EA is exempt from this, though. They aren't. They really fucking aren't. I'm just saying, I want to know exactly how much of this is staged. It didn't look staged. I'll give you that. It didn't. You never really fucking know, though. Just keep an open mind. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. It might not have been completely fucking staged. It didn't look it, so it was probably real. And we got to see some cool shit in there. We got to see Darth Maul. We got to see Boba Fett. We got to see Rey for like 5 seconds before she got killed. Apparently Rey actually does have the ability to use the Jedi mind trick and confuse people, which is cool. They're apparently they actually had this initiative where they're getting high-ranking Battlefront 1 players and bringing them to Stockholm and having them test the shit out of the game. They are testing, they are playtesting everything, which can really only be a good thing. You want games like this to be playtested to shit. You want people to actually fucking break your game and make sure it works to the best possible degree. So that's good. showed John Boyega for a minute, and he's always cool. Apparently, there's going to be a bunch of DLC, some sort of season pass, because of course there's going to be a season pass. You can play as Finn and Captain Phasma as heroes, and they're actually going to be free. They're just going to be free downloads for you, which is that's actually pretty cool. I'll give EA that. That's actually a pretty cool move. So there you go. And that was EA. Like I said, it didn't have much to talk about. Mostly it was just talking, the Star Wars shit was the most I could really get too much out of, because A, they showed a lot of it, and B, I actually give a shit about Star Wars. Fuck, I actually forgot the name of the game already. A Way Out. I'm looking forward to A Way Out. I want to know more about that. And Anthem, obviously, because, I mean, BioWare. It's a new BioWare game. Who wouldn't want to know more about that? But, and also because you don't really get too much, like I don't know, maybe at some other point in the conference we'll get a little bit more about it. We'll be able to know, who we're playing, what the overall story is, what to deal with this power armor, how that plays into everything like that. But yeah, that's EA. Not much else to say about that. It's pretty good. Alright. I'll see you tomorrow with... Actually, I don't know. I forgot to look up the schedule. I forgot to look up the schedule of events, so I actually don't know what is happening tomorrow. Probably Sony, I'm assuming. Sony or Microsoft, one of the big two. Nintendo's gonna be in there somewhere, most likely. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Later.